Hey everyone, and today I want to talk about gimbal, especially the Zhiyun Crane 2. I want to share a bit of my personal experience of using this gimbal for the past 2 years, and is it still worth it to purchase the Crane 2, and as well, why you should get the Crane 2 over the other gimbal on the market. First of all, this gimbal here, let me show you guys real quick my Crane 2. Here is it, still one solid piece of equipment. I still use it till today and I love it. It never broke down on me. So yeah, it's the best investment I ever made. But anyway, let's back to our main point story here. So why you should get the Crane 2 over the other gimbal is, first of all, the price. If you are really in tight budget and you want a gimbal that can carry heavier setups, then Crane 2 is the answer. Because if you think about it, the brand new Crane 2 on the market right now, I've seen just now on AliExpress, is less than $500. That's very cheap. Now if you're really cheapskate or really in tight budget, I've seen the used one less than $350 for Crane 2, come along with some extra battery sets. That's a good steal there. And not only it's cheap, and Crane 2 is well known for its heavier payload ability to carry heavier camera. So I have seen so many photos of Crane 2 on Instagrams, on social media, of people carrying a red cinema camera, A7 III with rig, cage, and some big ass lens on the camera, and Crane 2 carry those setup like nothing. Yes, so you can say that newer gimbal is more stable, but actually, honestly, all gimbals are the same. They just to stabilize your shots. And yeah, I do get into like micro jitters with Crane 2, but if you walk properly or get the shot nicely and properly, well calibrate this gimbal, those jitters are really minor. If you do so, you can always fix in post using warp stabilizer, and I've done a tutorial on it, on how to get rid of jitter on your videos if you shot this some videos with gimbal but you still end up with jitters. You can fix that in post. Recently, Zhiyun released a firmware update. It's 1.76. I remember when they released the Crane 3 and the Gimbal Lab, where they advertised you can do like the 360 roll. Now you can do the same thing with the Crane 2, just by simple firmware update on the Crane 2, and you can do Vortex, those kind of rolling stuff that you always see on Instagram videos. Those are so cringe, but you can do it too in Crane 2. Like, why would you buy a new gimbal just for the sake of the barrel roll shots? Okay, you just simple firmware updates and your Crane 2 is still relevant till today, right? And then finally is the battery life. Now the battery life on Crane 2 is just amazing. It seems like it lasts forever. I never get into a situation where I have to switch the batteries. Okay, Zhiyun claimed that this battery lasts for 12 hours. I don't know how true that claim is, but I'm not a person who go travels and shoots with gimbal. I'm a person who do short films and like commercials. So if, let's just say, a certain scene based on the script and storyboard, if we need to have like a steady shot, that's when I rig up or set up my gimbals on that set and use it only that time. And after I finish that scene, I would just leave my gimbal down while it's turned on. It's just lasts the whole day of shooting process. So the Crane 2 battery is just massive. It just lasts so long, like forever. And I never get into a situation I have to switch your battery. Unless you're doing event, you might want to consider getting extra batteries because you use constantly shooting with the gimbal. And of course, when you're shooting too long, you get tired because Crane 2 are heavy. That's why I said Crane 2 is not for those who go travel. Crane 2 is not for you. Plus, it's big in size. But that's why I always rig up my gimbal. Now, speaking about rig, I want to say thank you to Smallrig for sponsoring me this accessory for Crane 2 here. If you can see, here's the Zhiyun clamp and these NATO rail style handle here. It's a rubberized handle. It's really nice to hold, and I'll say thank you to them again for sponsoring me this really nice piece of accessory for my Crane 2. And recently I did a short montage dance video with my friends, and we rig up this Crane 2 with these Smallrig accessories. Even my Sony a6 V use a Smallrig cage. Yeah, let me just clamp this in. And again, we rig up this gimbal along with the monitor on the front here. We mounted the ball head and monitor so that we can see the shots under the hot scorching sun. And this setup here are so good. It makes the gimbal feel lighter even though it's heavier. Why? Because of the weight distribution has been evenly spread out by this two handle. Yes, I do own the dual handle here, but it's too long, and so with this kind of style of setup, I can just mount this dual handle quickly, just slide it in, lock in place, and just shoot it like this. And plus, it's not too long spread out wide, it's near inward to your body, so you can have a really nice spread out of holding the gimbal. And I mounted it on top of the follow focus wheels so that the heavier payload is evenly distributed, because if you put it on the bottom, it's going to be very heavy because of the weight on the top. So when this handle is near to the camera, it feels much more lighter to carry in this sort of setup here. And also this one is not sponsored, of course. I bought the Manfrotto quick release plate, and I mounted it here so that I can quickly take out my camera, and I mount it on my tripod quickly if I need to switch into a static shot. So if you're a person who don't go travels, I mean, if you go travel, why you should get a Crane 2, it's not for you. But if you're a person who do like films or events, and you always set up your camera to heavier payloads, and Crane 2 is the answer for you. It's cheap, carry a good amount of payload, and the battery life is just amazing. And yes, Crane 2 is still relevant. They just recently released a new firmware updates on the Crane 2. So if this all points fit for you, then why not get a Crane 2 in 2020 and you save a lot of money. So thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned on my next video. Bye bye.